Hello, my dear students. Today we're going to discuss properties of integers. Our objectives for this topic: number one, manifest understanding of the properties of integers. Number two, use the properties of integers in writing true statements. And number three, apply the properties of integers in simplifying mathematical expressions. But before that properties of integers, let us have a short review about addition and subtraction of integers, multiplication and division of integers. First, we have here 2 plus 5. The answer is 7. Number 2, 2 minus positive 5, and that is equal to 2 plus negative 5. The answer is negative 3. Number 3, we have 2 times negative 5. Now, we all know that multiplying unlike signs, the sign of the product is negative. So, 2 times 5 is negative 10. Number 4, negative 10 divided by negative 2. Right? So, we all know that dividing like signs, the sign of the quotient is always positive. So, this is positive 5. And last, we have here number 5, negative 4 plus 7. Now, since they are unlike signs, no, subtract and copy the sign of the greater absolute value. It's positive 3. All right, so we have here task number 1. Properties of integers. It says here the following properties hold true for the set of integers. Number 1, we have closure property. Two integers that are added or multiply remain as integers. Example letter A, 7 plus 2 is 9. Letter B, negative 2 plus 4 is 2. Letter C, negative 4 plus negative 4 equals negative 8. And this is, all of these are under what? Example, no? Closure property under of addition. Okay, so closure property of addition. And that is correct. The next one is letter D. 4 times 2 is 8. Negative 2 times negative 3 is 6. 2 times negative 5 is 10. And these example letters D to F are under what? Closure property of multiplication. So you try to observe, class. Let us continue. We have here number 2, commutative property. Changing the order of two numbers added or multiplied does not change the value. Okay, so ito po ang form niya. A plus B is equal to B plus A. So you notice that the B, no, at the right side comes first, no, before the second one. So A plus B equals B plus A. So nag-change lang po yung addends natin. How about this one? A times B, and that is equal to B times A. Let's see the example of commutative property of addition. So 3 plus, that is commutative property of addition. 3 plus 4 is equal to 4 plus 3. Now, what did you notice? The left and the right members, no, of the equation are equal. So 3 plus 4 is 7. 4 plus 3 is also 7. So they are equal. Next, letter B. 5 plus 2 is equal to 2 plus 5. They are also equal. So 7 is equal to 7. these are also examples of commutative property under multiplication. So 5 times 3 equals 3 times 5. That is under commutative property of multiplication. So as you can see, 5 at the left side of the equation, 5 times 3 is 15. At the right side of it, 3 times 5 is also 15. So therefore, they are equal. Letter D, 3 times 6 is 18. Then the other side, 6 times 3 is also 18. Question about this commutative property? Oh, there is no question. Next, we have here number 3, associative or associative property. Changing the grouping of numbers that are to be added or multiplied does not change the value. So ito naman po ang form. So A plus quantity B plus C is equal to quantity A plus B plus C. So nakagroup po ang B plus C, tapos at the right side, nakagroup naman po ang A plus B. Now, tignan natin hindi raw naaapektuhan ang kanilang values. Okay? So 2 plus, open and close parenthesis, we have 3 plus 4 and that is 7. So 2 plus 7. The right side, no? Nakagroup naman po ang 2 and 3. So 2 plus 3 is 5 plus 4 is 9. So they are equal. Remember class, no? They are group or they are grouped as one. You have to work, no? Inside of the parenthesis first, or do the operation inside the parenthesis before adding 4. Likewise, no, you have to do the operation inside of the parenthesis between 3 and 4. We have plus, so 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 2 outside of it. So that's why 7 plus 2 is 9. They are equal. So that is under associative property of addition. Next, we have associative property of multiplication. Now, ganito naman po ang forma niya. So, A times the product of B and C is equal to the product of A and B times C. They are equal. So, let's see. So, suppose our A is 3. The value of A is 3. The value of B is 5. The value of C is 2. The value of A, again, at the right side naman po, 3. The value of B is 5. The value of C is 2. So, let's see. Let us simplify this one. So multiply the parenthesis, multiply the 2 and 5 inside of the parentheses. So that is 5 times 2 is 10 times 3 is 30. Sa right naman po, 3 times 5 is 15 times 2, that is 30. So equal po sila, no? Okay. Next we have here distributive property. When two numbers have been added or subtracted and then multiplied by a factor, the result will be the same when each other is multiplied by the factor and the products are then added or subtracted. Take a look. We have here distributive property of addition. So, ano pong i-distribute natin dito? Yung A. So, A times B, ganun po. So, A times C, yan. So, let's see. The result is seen at the right of it. So, A times B, this one. So, we have here A times B. Plus, A times C is A times C at the right. So, let us follow this form. Your A is 2, your B is 3, your C is 4. So, let's see. So, 2 times 3, that is 2 times 3 po. Or you do it like this, 3 plus 4, that is 7. 7 times 2 is what? 7 times 2 or 2 times 7 is 14. Pero tignan ninyo nandito sa right side. So 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. Pareho lang, di ba? So we have here 6 plus 8 is 14. 14 is equal to 14. That is correct. That is a true statement. Another distributive property under subtraction, no? So the same, no? Form, the difference is, no? Positive yung kanina, ngayon naman, plus yung kanina, ngayon naman ay subtraction. So A times B is AB minus, then A times C is AC. Okay, so let's see. 2 times 3 is 2 times 3 at the right. No? As you can see, the 2 times 3 is 310 at the right of it. Then 2 times 4 is, ito po yon. Then copy the subtraction operation. So let us simplify now. 3 minus 4, that is negative 1. Okay, so we know the ruling under subtraction of integers. So first, no, if it is subtraction, of course, change the operation into addition. Papalitan niyo po ito. Then, second step, change the sign of the subtrahend. If it is positive, change it to negative. So, ganito ngayon ang nangyari. So, 3 plus negative 4. They are unlike signs. If this will be the case, no? Proceed to addition. 4 minus 3 is 1 and copy the sign of the greater absolute value. So that's why we have here negative 1. Therefore, 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. How about at the right side? So 2 times 3 is 6. Then 2 times 4 is 8. Yan, 8. Then copy the subtraction symbol. So the same, 6 minus 8, change the operation from subtraction to addition, change the sign of the subtrahend. Positive, it becomes what? Negative. So 6 plus negative 8 po. They are unlike signs, no? Proceed to addition. So 8 minus 6 is 2. And we follow the sign of the greater absolute value. So that's why negative 2 is equal to negative 2. Number 5, we have here identity property states that the sum of any number and 0 is the given number. 0 is the additive identity. So meaning to say, no, any number added by 0 is equal to that number. So, ito po yung kanyang form o forma na gagayahin. So, A plus 0 is equal to A. Under of this identity property of addition, we have 0 plus 2 is equal to 2. Negative 5 plus 0 is equal to negative 5. In addition to this, we have negative 100 plus 0 is negative 100. Baliktarin natin, 0 plus negative 100 is equal to negative 100. Okay po? Then I know you can give your own example. Identity property of multiplication states that the product of any number and 1 is the given number. 1 is the multiplicative identity. So A times 1 is equal to A. Meaning to say, any number multiplied by 1 is equal to that number itself. Just like this. Letter A, 1 times 7 is 7. Letter B, 1 times negative 8 is equal to negative 8. 1 times 1,000 is equal to 1,000. 1 times negative 1,000 is equal to negative 1,000. And so on. Okay? Next, we have here number 6. Inverse property. Inverse property of addition states that the sum of any number and its additive inverse is 0. Now, we all know that the additive inverse of 5 is negative 5. The additive inverse of negative 5 is positive 5, vice versa. So, nasa ganitong forma po. So, A plus, no? So, A plus negative A. So, 5 plus negative 5 is equal to 0 or negative 5 plus 5 is equal to 0. Okay, so tignan nyo po yung example natin sa letter A. So 4 plus negative 4 is equal to 0. The positive 4, the additive inverse of this positive 4 is negative 4. If you are going to add this, no? that is equal to 0. Same as this letter B, 5 plus negative 5 is equal to 0. And I know you can give your own example. This is very easy. Inverse property of multiplication states that the product of any number and its multiplicative inverse or reciprocal is 1. The multiplicative inverse of any number is 1 over A. So ganito po ang forma niya. So for example, we have here 5. The multiplicative inverse of it is 1 over 5. Meaning to say, if you are going to convert this 5 into fraction that is 5 over 1, no? Babaliktarin mo that is 1 over 5. Okay? Pag kinuha mo yung product, no? 5 times 1, so i-multiply natin yung whole number na 5 times 1, the numerator of 1/5, that is 5. 5 divided by 5, that is 1. Another letter B, negative 6 times 1 over negative 6. So negative 6 times 1 is negative 6 divided by negative 6 is equal to 1. So ganun po ang nangyari. So negative 6 over 1 times 1 over negative 6. So negative 6 divided by negative 6 is equal to 1. Okay? Now, number 7, I think this will be the last property of integers. Zero property states that the product of any number and 0 is 0. Example, letter A, 8 times 0 is 0. Ito po yung yung any number multiplied by 0 is equal to 0. So letter B, negative 9 times 10 times negative 8 negative 7 times negative 7 times 0 sa bandang huli, that is 0. Okay? So the clue here, no, you have to check, no, if there are 0 factor of if there are 0 or whole number given, no, which is 0. Tignan niyo muna po, titigan. Tapos, no, kung meron, automatic po 0 ang inyong sagot. Okay? So, masasayang po yung pagmumultiply ninyo ng negative 9 times 10, negative 90, negative 90 times negative 8. Hanggang sa marating ninyo, ay 0 lang pala yung nasa dulo. Alright. So, at least kapag tinignan nyo, alam na ninyo kaagad ang sagot na 0. Right, so again, we have here the properties of integers, closure property of addition, closure property of multiplication. Number 2, commutative property of addition, commutative property of multiplication. Number 3, associative property of addition, associative property of multiplication. Number 4, distributive property of multiplication over addition. 5, identity property of addition, identity property of multiplication or multiplicative property of multiplication. Number 6, inverse property of addition, or we call it additive inverse property or inverse property, and of course, inverse property of multiplication. And the last, of course, zero property. Now, we are ready to face this task 2. Huh? Name the property illustrated in each of the following. Number 1. Now, what do you think the answer? Yes. It's closure property. You're correct. Next. We have 2 plus 3 is equal to 3 plus 2. The answer is yes. Commutative property of addition. How about this number 3? 27 plus negative 27. And that is inverse property of addition. Next, number 4. We have here associative property of addition. How about this number 5? What do you think the answer? It's hindi lahat po na merong parenthesis na gano'n, nag-renew po. You have to observe, no? So 3 plus quantity 6 plus 2 is equal to 6 plus 2, quantity 6 plus 2 plus 3 outside of it, no? It's not associative, no? It's commutative property of addition. Okay po? Commutative po. So, take a look. 3 plus 6 plus 2, that is 8. And 8 plus 3 is, yan. And that is under commutative property of addition. Next, we have task number 3. It's your turn. Name the property illustrated in each of the following. Number 1. So number 1, we have, are you ready? Yes. Okay. The answer is identity property of addition. How about this number 2? You're correct. Inverse property of multiplication. Next, number 3. You're correct. Commutative property under multiplication. Next, that is commutative property of multiplication. Next, number 4, of course, identity property of multiplication. Any number multiplied by 1 is equal to that number itself. Next, number 5. Yes, so distributive property. Okay, so you are going to distribute 4 times 5 equals, ito po yon, 4 times 5. Then 4 times 2, that is minus 4 times 2. Distributive property. The next activity number 4 or task number 4 we have here, tell whether this statement is true or false. Are you ready? 4 minus 5, that is negative 1, no? Equal. Is it equal to positive 1? It's false. Yes. How about this number 2? So distributive property, so x times 2 is 2x, so x times 3 is 3x. What do you think? Is it true? Yes, true. Number 3. So 3 times x is 3x, 3 times 5 is 15. Is it 5? That is incorrect, so false. Number 4. 4 minus the difference of 5 and 3, and that is equal to 4 minus 5 minus 3. Is it true? False. And the last one, we have 8 divided by 7 equals 7 divided by 8. Obviously, this is false. All right. Any questions? None? Very good. Now, kung wala po kayong tanong, ako po ang may tanong. What are the basic operation of integers? What are the basic operation of integers? These are the 4 fundamental operations, no? So we have addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, no? So these are the basic operation of integers. How about this one? Can you name all the properties of integers? Yes. So that is very easy. Now, for your activity number 6, fill in the blank with the real number to make the equation true, then identify the property used. No? Of course, before that, no, you can go back to the different properties and try to recall them. No, as much as possible, you have to analyze each one of the property. So we have 7 properties. Don't forget them. So we have here the 7 properties of integers. Okay. So closure property of addition, closure property of multiplication, commutative property of addition, commutative property of multiplication, associative property of addition, associative property of multiplication, distributive property of multiplication over addition, identity property of addition, identity property of multiplication or multiplicative property of multiplication. Number 6, inverse property of addition or additive inverse property or inverse property of multiplication. And of course, the last one, we have zero property. So that is very easy. Okay. So there are no questions anymore. So you are now free to do the activity number 6. No? And this is to be submitted this week. All right. So we have here number 1 is done. Fill in the blank. All you have to do is give the answer. No? For this blank, fill in the blank with a real number to make the equation true. Then after which, that's the time you're going to identify the property used. Okay, so number 1 is done for you. So replace, I simply put the 1 here. Then 6 times 1 is 6. And that is equal to 6. Therefore, the property used was what? Identity property of multiplication. No, I put P stands for property and M stands for multiplication. And the question? None. Very good. Okay. Maraming salamat po. Thank you. Bye.